Hey folks, the illustrious pin tickler here. The reason I put my hat on is because I'm going bald and it just bugs me to look at when I'm watching my videos. So it's purely for aesthetical value only. Peterson. ThinkPeterson.com. Ken Pearson, the man. And Benita Gonzalez? I don't know. The plant manager. Very wonderful people to work with. And they crank out some of the best damn picks I've ever seen in my life, ever held in my life, ever worked with in my life. I recently got a big set from them. And for camera purposes, I'm going to use the 18,000s and a couple of my 25,000s. We're just going to go down the line. What works, what doesn't work, why does it work, and how does it work? All right. So the first one I really, really like is my hook number one. Now, you'll notice it has kind of a short, it's a short hook, but it has like a short little shelf on here. And it's easy to get up in there and get a single pin and really work on it. The short hook is, because it's so short in stature, the shank height altogether, it makes it easy to get in and out of a lot of different keyways. And I don't have any problems getting in the back. And even when I get to the front, you know, I still have a lot of shelf to pick on, which is why this is my go-to pick. The second pick, and probably more valuable in the compatibility with locks area, is the fact that it can get into keyways very simply under keys because it has a big bevel up front. It literally goes like that up front. So when I'm picking specifically American locks, I can get under that first pin, get me a couple clicks out of it, not just one, go to the next pin, same thing, couple clicks, and the third pin, specifically on my 5200, and the lock opens right up for me because it's so good about feeling stuff. Even when I get to the back of the keyway, I get that little pull because it has like this little loop on it there, little bump, and I can really feel my pin. So like when I'm in this Ace of Sergeant up top here, I got a Sergeant and a bi-level below it. I can really feel that, you know. I can hit that all day. All the pins are very, I'm trying to think of the word. It's just so easy to feel inside the keyway with this pick. The gem is their most prolific profile, and rightly so because it's invaluable. These are must-have picks. Next on the must-have list, after the number one and the gem, is the DeForest Diamond. Now it's more of a medium/high hook, and you'll notice it has a huge shelf on it. So if you're in the back of a keyway and you're just not feeling stuff with your hook number one or your gem, put this back there. It has a lot of actionability inside the keyway as well, and it's easy to get through stuff. I should get here, let's get my Avis E. I think it's my E60 or E90. Even in this guy, I can get all the way in the back of the keyway and easily get out. And I can feel the whole way. Matter of fact, I'm going to use this because I got the 18,000s out. Same thing with the hook number one. Sorry, there's a lot of wording in that, so I got to get around it to begin with. But same thing. I can get in and out with ease. Same with my gem. Getting under key pins is not hard at all. And I can feel, again, all the way out. Next would be the Peterson Reach. The thing I don't like about this pick is it's a little rounded. Another thing I'm not super fond of is they're all stamped except for the one I picked up. They all have a little stamp in them, and if they're going to break, that's where they break. However, if you do break a Peterson pick, you can send it back, and they'll give you half off, so $4 a pick for their big picks. And then I don't know if they do the same thing. I think it's only for government steel, so I don't think the white handles would be subject to the same thing. Same thing with the Peterson Reach, though. Very easy to glide in and out of stuff. Sparrow's tried to copy this design with the half glide and full glide. It doesn't stand up, especially with the way they were finished. Peterson picks come all finished. Again, very easy to feel inside that keyway. Next is the hook number two, and some people might need this, some people might not. Again, very easy to get into, but you'll notice it's a very short hook. So if you do have any situations where you have very tall key pins and very tall driver pins, this can get under them with quite a lot of ease. After the number 2, we got the number 3, and the reason I like this pick so much is it's rounded like the other hook picks, not the hook number 1 or the gem, and also it's like in between a hook number 1 and a gem. So did I really just start picking those? Maybe this lock isn't as hard as I thought. I actually got a couple of sets on that from pulling on the this over here. If I can't feel something with my hook number 1 or my gem, I go straight to the number 3 because it's a good middle ground. You know, and I get some pretty insane feedback of all these picks, but the hook number 3 really does it for me. Next is the hook number 4 and the number 7. Number 7's up top. And you'll notice that the hook number 7 is a little bit thinner in shank height. So if you're dealing with pins that maybe this number 4 won't quite fit in this Abus right now, right? Yeah, I'm having some trouble getting in there. Maybe the number 7 will. I don't know. I picked, yeah, it did. I picked this. The number 7 gets in there a little bit easier because it's a little teeny bit shorter. Also, it's the whole blade of it is a little bit thinner. So a lot easier to get into keyways. I really wish, and please, Ken, Peterson, or Benita, plant manager, if you watch this, please give me a hook number 7 in the 25,000s for my birthday. It's coming up in like 5 months, please. But both great picks, and the big thing is, even when I get into heavier keyways like aces, you know, I can still get in and out, and yet I don't have that much to go up top. You know, I can get up and reach in there with quite a bit of ease. Now, the one hook I don't use that I don't have their postal hook. I have had it, didn't really like it, just too tall. The hook number 5, which probably won't fit in that Abus, but it will fit in these aces. And again, I got a lot of reach off this thing, and it's very easy to go into keyways, bigger keyways with this number 5. All their hook picks, they have 10 different options, including the postal. I have 9 of them for whatever kind of needs you may have. And so for that, I just say thank you, Peterson, for giving us so many options to defeat these locks, which give us hell every day. So good on you. Now, as everybody knows, I am not much of a raker. However, Peterson has a quite an exquisite line as well. Everybody's seen this rake, the city rake, as everybody else calls it. Peterson calls it the long ripple, or L rake. L is in llama. So it's the same, a little bit thicker on the shank height like everything else, and the super awesome handle. What's really cool is they have 3 other ripple rakes, and they're a little bit smaller in stature and shank height. In the number 1, you have like a middle ground, kind of little bump up in the middle, so it's really good for zip raking. Number 2 is really good for rocking and has like a little bit of a bevel in the middle, like 2 little peaks descending backwards. So if you want to rake out that way or zip out that way, it can still be done, just it's better for rocking. And then you have almost like a 2-peak number 3, which has a high peak in the back and a lower peak in the front. So if you're really grinding in a lock and you really want to rake it out, it's not so hard to get in and out and really give you some up. Because when you zip out, I usually go up like that. I press up on them. This one really does well for it. Number 2 would be a lot better for rocking, just like the long ripple. But getting in and out of this keyway is and this is a tighter, paracentric keyway. You can see the warding in there. It gets in and out with relative ease. So good on you. And these are super fun to pick with. I've picked a bunch with them, and I think the most success I had was like Abus locks, which is amazing because I'm not very good at raking, and this has made it very possible for me to rake Abus locks in a very easy way. Now on to the picks I really just don't like, and I never have, is the bogotas. So we got 1, 2, and 3. Again, you have R3. Number 1's a little bit shorter. Number 2, a little bit taller and a little bit wider in the valleys. And number 3 looks a little shorter again, but with wider valleys. So if you're having problems with keys that are stretched out a little bit, pins that are stretched out, this number 3 will work pretty well. If you're dealing with restrictive keyways, like this one as well, that maybe the really tall picks can't get in because they can't get around that warding, this number 1 gets right up in the top. Let's see if you can see that. I get right up to the top with this thing, and I can still rock out. Not so much easy to rake out after that, but I can still go up, back down, and go up again. So very good options Peterson gives you. I don't think I really tried out this number 2 a whole lot. With this, yeah, see, I can't really get on the top of it. But again, that's why Peterson, I can rake out with all 3 of these. But the number 2 just doesn't have as much user friendly, because it's so tall in some of these keyways that you have to get around some of that warding. Number 2 just doesn't fit, but number 1 and number 3 do. And if you got taller keyways with taller key pin or smaller key pins, number 2 would be the way to go. And as for my favorite rakes that Peterson makes, we have the C4, 5, 6, and 7. Now, these are called the Wonder Waves. They were designed by Christine Palmer, the same person who did the metallurgy tests to see what Peterson metal is made of, 420 stainless, knife grade quality. Unlike the other guys who use, 301, even Southward High Yield, their premium line, they use 301 high yield steel, stainless steel. Sparrows uses 301 Cold Max, and a lot of other people just use regular 301 stainless. These picks are, the big thing is they're non-percussive. You'll notice none of them have really decided points on them, and getting in and out of keyways is relatively easy. Looks like a little mask. It's awesome. Number 4 and number 6 are really good in American locks. I've had a lot of success with number 6 specifically. I'd put it in like a master number 5 and just push my tension wrench down. It just goes right over. It just opens right. It's like a key. It really is. I wonder if I could just go and turn it. I just don't want to break the pick. The only reason I really haven't tried it yet. The number 7 and number 5 actually did surprisingly well on my Abus 80 Ti-50. The ripples did really good on the 6440. I can pick, single pin pick, SPP that 80 Ti-50 in about, I have it recorded and I think it's on my channel in about 13 seconds. And these take a little bit longer since I am admittedly not a very good raker. But even these make me feel like I can. All of Peterson's stuff do. Again, I'm not so big on the bogotas, and I've been vehemently against them since, I've picked because I broke one, and I was like, this pick sucks. But the cool thing about Peterson is they give you options. And even if you can't afford the $8 a pick, because, yeah, it was $233, I think, for this plus the same thing. All these picks in 25,000s, because these are all 18,000s except for the black handle ones. Of course, they're 25,000s. So, I mean, it can get a little expensive, but they do have a cheaper option. They have, $3 pick handles, the white picks, and they're all 25,000. So maybe you people from Europe and Australia aren't going to use them as much. But I've seen some of the keyways in Asia, and Southward calls it like they have a 69-piece Asian/European line. Their locks are not that tight, from what I've seen, and I haven't seen a lot from Asia, grant you that, except for the Chinese ones that are shipped over to America. But between these ripples, these Wonder Waves, and they're just insane amount of hooks, you really have options. And you can get, I'm pretty sure, every single one of these picks in the white handle. So if you just want to try something out, spend $30, get 10 picks. Whatever kind of picks you want. I would highly recommend the hooks I showed you, but you can get 10 picks. High quality. I mean, they're 1095 carbon steel, but they're pretty high quality. You can get whatever you want. Or, $40, $50, whatever you increments of 3. You can get some really cool stuff from Peterson, try them out, and see what you really like. Sell your picks if you don't want them, or keep them as backups. And then you can go spend $8 on their government steel, which are worth every penny in my opinion. I have yet to break a Peterson pick by picking with it. I dropped one in my vise. It fell off my shelf. And I snapped a Peterson reach at the line. It was half out. It still only snapped at the stamp. So they're very durable picks. Yes, they can snap. They're still just picks. Anyways, Peterson, thinkpeterson.com. Go talk to Benita or Ken, and they will hook you up. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.